It was midnight when a tired single dad spotted a crying young mother outside a closed pharmacy, her baby burning with fever in her arms. The shopkeeper had shut the doors and refused to help. What the dad did next changed all their lives forever. Stay with us till the end, this story will touch your heart. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Kindness Stories for more true, emotional stories. It was 12:08 a.m. in the sleepy little town of Maple Creek, tucked in the colder side of Oregon. The streetlights flickered gently, and silence hugged the narrow streets like a soft blanket. The town was small, humble, and the kind where everyone knew everyone. Most homes were already dark, save for the occasional porch light or a glowing bedroom window. Christopher Hayes, 33, a single father, had just finished his night shift at the lumber factory. He wore a faded denim jacket, steel-toe boots dusted with sawdust, and a tired face that told of a long day and an even longer week. All he wanted was to get back home to his 3-year-old daughter, Ellie, who would be fast asleep with her stuffed bunny clutched to her chest. As he walked past Granger's pharmacy, the only 24/7 pharmacy in Maple Creek, something made him stop in his tracks. There, under the dim yellow light of the pharmacy's flickering signboard, stood a young woman. She looked no more than 25, her black coat flapping against the cold wind. In her arms, a baby girl, barely 2, was curled up, cheeks flushed red, forehead damp with sweat. The young woman's voice trembled as she pleaded with the shopkeeper, "Please, just this once. She has a fever. I can't wait till morning." The man inside the shop, Mr. Granger, a wiry old fellow known for following rules like the gospel, shook his head. "Stores closed. It's past midnight. I already did the final balance. Come back at 6 a.m. "She might not make it till 6, the woman cried, desperation cracking her voice. Chris stood frozen for a second. He could have walked away. He could have ignored it like many others might have. But something deep inside his chest stirred, a memory, a pain, a helplessness he once knew too well. He walked up quietly and stood beside her. The woman turned quickly, startled. Her eyes were tired, puffy, and filled with panic. Her name was Marissa James, a single mother who had just moved into town 2 weeks ago after escaping an abusive relationship. No one knew her here, and she barely had money left after rent. The baby in her arms, Lily, had been running a high fever since late evening, and she had tried everything, but now Lily was burning up, moaning softly. Chris looked at Mr. Granger and said, "Sir, I know you've closed up, but look at the child. Please, open the store for just one more sale." "I said no," the man snapped, locking the cash drawer. "You think this is the first time someone begged me? It's the rule. I follow it for a reason." "But this isn't just about a rule," Chris replied calmly. "This is about a 2-year-old baby who could die if you don't open that door." "She should have come earlier," the shopkeeper grunted. Chris took a breath. He knew this town. He knew Mr. Granger. Rules mattered more than people to some folks here. She didn't come late by choice. She has no car. No one to help her. "I've seen that look on a parent's face before, when they're helpless," Chris said, his voice low but firm. "Now open the damn store, or I swear I'll break that door and get the medicine myself." Marissa gasped, clutching Lily tighter. Mr. Granger looked taken aback. "Are you threatening me?" "No, I'm promising you. I'll pay for whatever she needs." "Just get the medicine," Chris said, stepping forward. Grudgingly, and after muttering something under his breath, the old man turned back toward the counter and unlocked the door. 2 minutes, he grumbled. Marissa couldn't stop the tears. Thank you so much, she whispered to Chris. Inside, Chris helped her explain what Lily needed. Within moments, Mr. Granger handed them a small bag with liquid Tylenol, a digital thermometer, and some baby cold pads. Chris paid with his debit card without hesitation. As they stepped back into the cold air, Marissa's body trembled, not just from the wind, but from emotion. "Why did you help me?" she asked. Chris shrugged, rubbing his palms together. "Because once, not too long ago, I stood in your place. My daughter was burning with fever too. I had no one. And that night, no one helped me." He looked down. She almost didn't make it. Marissa blinked, lips trembling. "I'm sorry." He shook his head. "Don't be. Just. I couldn't let history repeat itself for someone else." Lily whimpered softly in her arms. Chris gently placed his hand on the baby's forehead. "You live close by?" "About 15 blocks down," she said, embarrassed. "I walked here." Chris frowned. "At midnight? With a sick baby?" "I didn't have a choice," she whispered. "All right, come on. I'll drop you." No, I couldn't ask that." "You didn't," he said softly. "I offered." Marissa hesitated, then nodded. "Okay." Chris's old pickup truck smelled like sawdust and vanilla, an odd mix that oddly comforted Marissa. The heater hummed as Lily lay wrapped in her mother's arms on the back seat. Her moaning had softened. The medicine had already started calming her fever. Chris glanced at them through the rearview mirror as he drove slowly through the silent streets. "She looks better," he said. Marissa nodded. "She's a fighter. Just like her dad used to say." Chris didn't ask about her past. He just drove. When they reached her small apartment complex, he parked and helped carry the bag up to her door. She turned and looked at him. "I don't even know your name." "Chris. Chris Hayes." "Marissa." "Thank you, Chris. You have no idea what you did tonight." Chris smiled tiredly. "I didn't do much. Just didn't walk away." As he turned to leave, Lily stirred in her mom's arms and looked up at him with glassy eyes. Then, she did something that surprised them both. She reached out her tiny hand toward him. Chris walked back, took her hand gently, and smiled. "She'll be okay now." Marissa nodded slowly, her voice soft. "She just might be. Thanks to you." The next morning, sunlight crept softly through the window blinds of Marissa's small apartment. She slowly opened her eyes, her body aching from the long, cold night. Her first thought was Lily. She reached out and placed her hand on her daughter's forehead. Cool. The fever had broken. Lily was breathing evenly, her little body no longer trembling. Marissa exhaled, tears filling her eyes, not from fear this time, but from deep, overwhelming relief. She sat by her child, stroking her soft curls. "You're okay now, because of him," she whispered. In her heart, she wished she could see that kind man again. The stranger who had stepped in when the world turned its back. The one who didn't ask anything in return, who simply saw a scared mother and a burning child, and acted. But fate had its own plans. Around noon, there was a soft knock on her door. Marissa opened it cautiously. It was him. Chris stood there, holding a small brown bag and wearing the same quiet, tired smile. "I was driving past and thought I'd check in, see how she's doing." Marissa blinked, surprised, and stepped aside. "Please, come in." Chris walked inside, his eyes immediately finding Lily, who had just woken up. She looked pale, but her eyes were bright, and when she saw him, she smiled. Chris handed the bag to Marissa. Inside were 2 packs of chicken soup, a couple of apples, and a small stuffed animal. "You didn't have to," she began. He cut her off gently. "I know what it feels like to do this alone. Sometimes, a little kindness is all we need to feel like we're not." Marissa's voice broke. "You don't even know me, and yet, you helped like you've known us forever." Chris looked at her and simply said, "Because once, someone should have helped me, and didn't." Lily reached out and grabbed his finger, giggling softly. In that tiny room, without any dramatic music or bright lights, something unexplainable happened. 3 souls, broken in different ways, connected in healing silence. Pushpin, if this story touched your heart, please like this video and subscribe to Kindness Stories for more emotional true tales that remind us of the power of simple human kindness.